Okay, hi everybody, it's Steve Mead with this week's instalments of 10 Minutes with Meadey. Staying with last week's topic and the associate stroke franchise business model, I'm joined today by Craig Banbury of EweMove. Craig, you're very welcome. How are you?
Very good, Steve. Very good. Thanks for having me. How you doing?
Yeah, no, I'm good. The weather's improving. We'll see where we go. It looks like we've got a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. So things are looking up in the sector as well. Lots of stuff going on. Are you busy?
Very busy. Yeah, very busy. It's been like for most people, it's been a hectic probably last 9 months or so since the first lockdown. But yeah, the second wave from the recent announcement for stamp duty extensions put a little boost into the market. But like most people at the minute, just really focusing on our transactions in the pipeline at the moment and nudging every transaction along every day, and in some instances crowbarring them in, shall we say, to really get them through and help the clients over the line. But yeah, very busy.
There's been a few challenges out there, that's for sure.
And the rest, Steve. But yeah, it's been a challenge, but it's almost more rewarding in that sense. You know, when you get a transaction over, and it's been a bit of a roller coaster. Yeah. I guess it's where what our clients really get when it comes to the value of choosing an agent like EweMove, you know, with the experience that a lot of us have, is invaluable in these type of circumstances.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you're the EweMove franchisee in the Tadley / Thatcham Mortimer area, just sort of south of Reading. Have I got that right?
Yes. So myself and James Cramp, we have the franchise Tadley and Thatcham. The areas specifically covered, James covers Tadley itself, right, and then I cover an area just to the west of that. So Oakley, Overton, and Whitchurch is where I do a lot of business. But Tadley's also Tadley's a great area for James, and then Thatcham's hopefully slowly but surely it is our next big thing that we want to get into.
Great stuff. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your background. How did you get involved? You were obviously in traditional agency, I believe, beforehand, and then made the transition over to this sort of associate franchise model. How did that happen?
So yeah, so you're spot on there, Steve. My background, before EweMove, I worked for two other companies, both traditional high street. One was independent, worked there from trainee just for a year, then worked for a corporate company for about 5 years, working my way up from negotiator to manager.
So tell me just briefly, because obviously we're on the clock a little bit.
Yeah.
When I was on, I did a webinar with Nick and Sarah and Hannah a few weeks ago, and Sarah was telling me about the lean green marketing machine, the lead generation that comes from the business. A lot of people who start up as self-employed, as an associate or whatever, they're basically left to their own devices. Go out there, mark your patch, get your territory sorted, get people in. You know, it's self-generated business. That's not the case. Is it? Does it really work as Sarah was telling me it worked? So
my ethos coming into it was one of where I was skeptical, and I was thinking along those lines of is it as good as what they say? What are we going to get any support? I thought, whether this be arrogant or not, I thought, well, I've set an office up from scratch, basically. The previous company I'd worked for, we'd taken a lettings office and put sales in it, and we'd done £200,000 in a year as turnover. And I thought, well, if I can do that, then I can do this. So it doesn't really matter what EweMove themselves put in. I'll go out, I'll door knock, I'll tout, I'll do all the other bits and pieces that we need to. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, Steve, there was a good chunk of my business that did come that way. However, where the online marketing, the campaigns, the nurture campaigns, get you quite a few opportunities. Yeah. The online valuations, quite a few opportunities. The recommendations within the network, quite a few opportunities. The great work that people in the surrounding franchises have done, whether it be Reading or Newbury or Basingstoke, also get you those opportunities. So having it coming from all different angles, really, you can't knock it. And I think even for someone who's maybe not got the industry background that I've had and doesn't feel comfortable doing the typical old school touting things, there's plenty of meat on the bone that comes from EweMove themselves.
Yeah. Okay.
That really can't be sniffed at.
Cool. Okay, so tell me briefly, what was the biggest challenge starting out when you actually made the transition? What was the biggest challenge in your head?
Getting your head around being self-employed for me was the biggest thing. I was used to a monthly income. Now sometimes it's bigger than others, but especially when your first few exchanges start coming in, it can be a bit uneven in terms of income. That was probably the biggest thing from a personal side.
Yeah.
From a branding perspective, I think the biggest thing for me was just proving myself as not an online agent within the area that I operate. We don't have an office there. We have a serviced office, but from a branding perspective, it was probably distinguishing yourself between, we're not your high street agent. Yeah. We're not the online agent. We're the hybrid. We're the best of both.
Yeah.
Your success has now showed that, but that was probably the most difficult thing from a branding side.
Okay, and just finally, I know from my conversations with Nick, there's a lot of people join the brand who have got no agency background whatsoever. I don't know if you're aware or you know of any of those people. I mean, I'm talking about, I know a guy who's school teacher, a probation officer, people from all walks of life. How do they become successful? And very briefly, how do they become successful so quickly?
I think there's two answers to that question. One is EweMove themselves are full of great ideas and experience, and everyone is helpful in that sense. Arguably, I probably haven't asked for it as much as someone like you would have just mentioned, but everyone's willing to help, and even things like questions posted on the Facebook group and things like that, everyone's there to help. Yeah. The second thing is there's no substitute for hard work, and EweMove is a real testament to, no matter what your experience, if you're prepared to work hard, sometimes coming from out the industry can actually be a real positive because it's fresh ideas.
Yeah.
And I think as an industry, sometimes we can be very tunnel vision in, this is what we've done, this is how we've always done it. Now, if I continued to do that, I'd still be sitting on a high street, not having set up EweMove, and it just wouldn't be, a lot of things in my life now wouldn't be viable. Yeah. Change is good, and a difference in opinion can always be good, but I think there's no substitute for hard work and putting other people first, really.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I know from people I know who've joined and speaking to them afterwards, I think it's the onboarding, the support, the ongoing support that they get. I think that's very, very important to their development for the brand, or within the brand, should I say. So, listen, it's been a joy speaking to you, Craig. Fully appreciate you taking the time out today. I know you're a busy man. I wish you luck with everything moving forward. I know you're expanding just as the brand's expanding as well. I look forward to catching up with you in the not too distant future. This is Steve Mead. Thanks again to Craig, and we'll see you all next week. Cheers.